Morning. Happy Thursday. I am all bundled up. It's kind of chilly today. I have a ton of work to do. The work that I didn't do last night when I was on my live, I didn't do. I thought I would get off the live stream and then do the work, but I didn't because it was late. And I should be doing that work right now. And I actually have a call in 2 hours. But I really enjoyed my live stream last night. The purpose of the live, the subject of that live is, do I hate men? Don't recommend. And I really just wanted to jump on again and do kind of like a concise version of that video. It ended up being an hour and 45 minutes, and I really enjoyed myself. There were a bunch of people who came on. And so I thought it would be helpful to make a quick video about why I don't date, why I've decided to. So when I became single last, which was in 2014, 12 years ago, my primary reason of choosing to stay single at that time was because I had just consciously uncoupled from my baby's daddy. We were not married, but we had lived together. We broke up. He moved out. It was a long process. We went to a mediator every week for many, many, many months to help us decide and determine and figure out how to move apart with two little boys, two babies, and how to co-parent and what options and choices did we have that would be in our children's best interest. So because my ex and I had been high school sweethearts many, many moons ago, and then we had maintained a friendship, which was kind of like a friends with benefits on and off for quite a few years. And that had been our history before we got back together and ended up having, it was a 7 year relationship, but then there was an eighth year where we were living together as roommates, co-parenting, as we figured out what to do. And we both love each other dearly. We care a lot about each other. And at the time of breaking up, I had discovered Catherine Woodward Thomas, who she had originally written a book called Calling in the One, which was about like manifesting your love partner. And then she wrote a book called Consciously Uncoupling, which I got the book and I read it. I actually went to New York City one time when she was having a live talk. I met her. I think she signed my copy actually. Um, And after all that is when Gwyneth Paltrow made her book concept, Conscious Uncoupling, popular. But I knew it first. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Please hold. Thank you. So that started my journey of being single this time. And when I originally was newly single, I was raising my two little ones. I was figuring out how to work with having two little babies and, not being able to have a kind of lifestyle that I had had for many years where, get up early, drive to work, be at work for all day, 7, 8, 9 hour shift, come home, be home late. I didn't have that. I didn't have the ability to do that because I had two babies. And so, and I also didn't want to do that anymore. I had done that for so long. So my whole primary focus was raise my children, figure out how to earn a living in a way that makes sense to me now, and heal from the trauma of my childhood, the trauma from my teenagehood, 20s, 30s, and heal from the trauma of this relationship that I had desperately wanted to get back with him. I had really thought that he would be, the one, and that we were going to have this happy, loving family. And it ended up being very toxic. And the best thing for both of us and the children was to not be together. So I didn't initially start off on this path of being single with with like the intention of, oh, I'm going to be single forever. I just knew that dating wasn't part of my lifestyle at the time. I didn't have time or energy. I didn't have the mental space. I was emotionally unavailable. Now, you can be emotionally unavailable and not be aware of that and try to date people. And many people who are emotionally unavailable will date. And maybe it's because you are not aware that you're emotionally unavailable. Maybe it's because you are aware of it, but you still want to have sex. Or maybe you're lonely and you want to hang out with somebody and you don't have the maturity and the emotional intelligence to recognize that if you're emotionally unavailable and you're dating somebody anyway, that you're being incredibly selfish. Um, Many people are emotionally unavailable, but it's coming from an unhealthy place. And the reason why I would say my emotional unavailability is not necessarily an unhealthy thing is because I'm completely aware of it and I'm working on healing myself. I also don't believe that people are required to be emotionally available for romance at all times. Like, it's just not a requirement. You are allowed to live your life, or at least, at the time, you're allowed to make a choice that says trying to be involved with someone emotionally in a romantic sense is just not, like, I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. I'm not focused on that. That's not my priority right now. I have a lot of other things to do that are more important to me. I have healing to do. I have work to do. I'm raising my children. I'm not interested in trying to get to know somebody else, getting to know about their history, their dreams, their experiences, getting to know their friends, getting to know their family, getting to know them, trying to figure out if they are somebody that I like, if there's somebody I'm compatible with, all of the things that are involved with dating someone. It's a huge commitment to time, and if you're dating, then you're making this huge commitment that, certain chunks of time in your day or night are going to be allotted to all of the things I just mentioned, trying to meet somebody, trying to get to know that person, trying to figure out how you can spend time with that person in a time that matches for them. Excuse me, one moment, please hold. So it's a commitment. And for example, I'm learning DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing software program. And I purchased a class, an online class that I can take on my own schedule. And it's a commitment. And I only so far have done like half an hour of this class because it's a time commitment. And as I've said, I've got my children, I've got work clients, I've got, people in my life that I care about that I want to spend time talking to, my mother, my sister, my brother, my niece, my nephews. Sorry, my friends. And so when you carve the day up for your sleep time, work time, taking care of kids time, eating, grooming, and the end of the day, at the end of the evening, there's a very limited amount of time. So, then there's people who have hobbies and other interests, and then there's relaxing. And so when you add up all of the time in the day that you have to actually do stuff, you get to make the decision to prioritize, what do I want to do with my day? And for me, taking time out of my day to try to meet someone, and then once you meet someone, try to get to know them, and then try to spend time with them and all the things, It's just not in the it's not in the calendar. Like I just simply don't have time for it and I don't have the desire for it. So that's one thing. Thank you, Anointed Glow. Do you listen to I do not. Um so all of that is just kind of like logistics, but then there's the other reality of dating. And for me, it's like, what is the ultimate goal? Now, some people want to date. Again, like I said, you can be emotionally unavailable. Like, there's a lot of people out there who, and I was one of them for a while years ago, like, you're dating, maybe you're having sex, but you don't want anything serious. You're not looking for a commitment. You just basically kind of like want to hang out with someone and maybe have sex. And there's some people like that's basically their goal. They're not looking for a committed relationship or a marriage. They're not trying to build a family. They're not trying to be a power couple. They just want to have sex and maybe go to a movie and whatever people do, go out for drinks and go for a walk on the beach and all the cliche things. There's a lot of people who you're emotionally unavailable, you're not mature, you don't even know yourself truly to even know like who you are and what you need and what you like in order to even be compatible with someone. And compatibility is everything in a relationship. And as I said yesterday, so I made a very long video about this yesterday if you're interested in like the long version. But the reason I'm doing this one is because I wanted to do like a concise version of why ultimately I do not recommend dating. And I'm just like, for me personally, at this stage in my life, it's so not even on the radar. And in fact, being single and not dating and actively like making the commitment to not date has been so freeing. It frees up my time, it frees up my mental space, it frees up my physical body, it frees me up spiritually. And the fact is that it's just um like I was saying, what is the ultimate goal? So for some people, the ultimate goal is um, marriage. And so, what is marriage? Marriage, again, it's obviously going to vary significantly between couple and couple. You know, who each person is, what they like, what kind of lifestyle, all of those things, your idea of a relationship, your idea of marriage. I get that. It's like not one size fits all. However, in this patriarchal society where I live, which is the northeast coast of the US, um, men are in general, I'm generalizing and I'm stereotyping. Obviously, not every single man is this way. There are exceptions to the rule, but that is an exception to the rule. There are good men. I don't like hate men as a species, but I have absolutely no interest in dating because the ultimate, like, like if you're playing a video game, ultimately, like there's a purpose, I think, and you're getting to the end goal. And in dating, excuse me one second. Now, of course, some people are like, I just want to date indefinitely. I don't want to live with you. I don't want to get married. I'm happy with you have your space. I have my space. And we get together sometimes and we go out, we eat and we have fuck and then, whatever. And you go back to your space. I go back to mine. And for some people, that's great. And who knows, maybe one day that'll be the thing that I desire. I don't desire at this point to have any kind of romantic thing because, like I was saying, what's the ultimate goal? To live together? Um, and like to combine your lives. I have I've been there in relationships where I've lived with men. I've, and of course, the men that I dated, those losers, I attracted those losers because at the time I was in a very unhealthy place. I was toxic. I was emotionally unavailable, but unaware of that. I was completely unhealed from so much trauma, but those were a lot of unseen, unhealed wounds. I was operating from a place of just a really unhealthy perspective about love and relationships, and I still didn't really know myself. And so when you are going through the world blindly, and I don't mean like literally, when you are emotionally blind and you don't know what traumas you've got lying under there that are unhealed, or you know what they are but you still haven't healed them, you haven't addressed them, you haven't done this the introspective self-reflective work on yourself, you haven't gotten to know yourself. You Many people, they start trying to date someone, they go out into the world and they want to get to know someone else, but they don't even know themselves. They haven't taken the time. Thank you from Pakistan. Much love. They haven't taken the time to get to know themselves the way they've tried to take the time to get to know somebody else. And the fact is that if you would instead of trying to manifest a specific person, if you would recognize that you are the specific person that you should be manifesting, and you poured 100% of your energy into developing yourself, healing from your traumas, getting to know yourself, figuring out what you like and what you don't like, what kind of lifestyle do you want, what kind of work do you want to do, what kind of spiritual life or religious life are you interested in? Where do you want to live? What do you want to do for a living? What kind of work do you want to do? What kind of fun do you want to have? Many people have not taken the time to develop these things, this knowledge about themselves, and then they go out into the world like this sort of undeveloped, unformed blob, and then they want to like glom onto somebody else who doesn't know themselves, and then you're trying to like build this relationship, two undeveloped blobs kind of clinging to each other. And no thank you, I'm not interested. So this is another thing, and this is where, like, people might think I'm hating on men, which I don't care what you think, but men in this country, and maybe many countries, are simply not raised to become emotionally intelligent people. They are facts. Thank you. They're not raised to be self reflective, introspective people. They're not raised to really understand their feelings, nor how to communicate them, nor how to understand somebody else's feelings, nor how to listen to those feelings. And, some people say, like yesterday, somebody was like saying, communication is number one. Well, I don't agree with that. I think that compatibility is number one. And like I said yesterday, it is true that in order to figure out if you're compatible with somebody, you need to know how to communicate with them. You need to know how to communicate in general. But in order to know if you're compatible with somebody, you've got to know what you're compatible with in general. And it's very complex. And so for me, the ultimate, like, the long-term goal of living with someone, maybe, like, for me, marriage is just, I have no interest in marriage. I've been engaged twice, and then I did live with my baby's daddy, like I said, for like 7 years. When we very first started dating, I thought I want to get married to him, have family, and like buy a house and like happy ever after. And then as we were dating, it became obvious that he made it clear many months into dating that he actually had no interest in getting married, and he didn't want to have children, and he didn't want to have a family, and that in fact he wanted to go off and buy a tiny home and kind of live by himself. And I was like, how does that, what, I don't see how you going off by yourself and living in a tiny home, like, but here we are together with like these kids. And so, but I mentioned he was my ex-boyfriend from high school, and I had like held a fantasy of him for many, many years. And so when we got back together, for me, it was just like, oh my God, I'm finally back with the one, my specific person. And all of these ideas of like emotional intelligence and emotional compatibility and like lifestyle compatibility and our dreams. What do we want and how do we see our lifestyle? I didn't think about thinking about that stuff until I was already heavily involved with him. And then it was like, wait, I literally have a baby and you're like, I want to get married. And so I went in, blind for emotions. And please keep your religious zealot stuff to yourself. No, thank you. Um, like how creepy. Some dead guy loves you. Ugh, get away with that. So I was ignorant, and I just, and then I ended up in this relationship with kids and living with someone, and it's, you know, a lot of people end up in relationships like that, and so anyway, back to why I have no interest in dating. Um, like I don't want to live with a man. I don't want. So this is what something else I was saying yesterday, that relationships, the reality of relationships for the majority of women is that a romantic relationship is really a job, an unpaid job of labor. And because our society is so deeply patriarchal and misogynistic, and that these roles, these gender roles, are so deeply defined, they're in religious shit, they're in secular shit, it's in politics, it's in corporate life, it's in business, it's in the school system, it's everywhere, that it's an ubiquitous thought that women are there to serve men. Women are there to do the housework, the child care, um, to basically be a slave, an enslaved, unpaid laborer to these men. And men are led to believe this bullshit that if you have a job and you pay some bills, that's it, honey. That's all you have to do. But the reality is that most women are also working and paying bills. And so there's this very fucking disgusting, skewed, misogynistic, patriarchal bullshit that two working people go to work, earn a living, come home, and the one with the fucking penis gets to watch sports, hang out, be waited on hand and foot, have his dinner made, and the woman is supposed to cook and clean and take care of the kids and all of the stuff, and the mental labor and the emotional labor and the mental load, and then the weaponized incompetence, and then a man will be like, well, I work and pay the bills, so therefore you have to do all the things. Fuck you. Drop dead, go to hell, take a hike. It's like I am just absolutely I was in several bad relationships because men fucking suck. And you see, look at this loser. It's like you are such a fucking loser if you find a woman who thinks like that and was brainwashed to do unpaid labor. Then good for you, I guess. Good for you that you found a sucker. But this is what I'm saying. If the ultimate goal of dating is to end up in a relationship where there's a fucking man in your house who has this mentality, like, abso-fucking-lutely not. There's no fucking way on earth that I'm going to date a fucking idiot who who thinks that the ultimate goal, the ultimate joy is, okay, fuck you and goodbye, because I don't fucking care. I curse. I'm a grown fucking woman. Do you think that I'm on a live talking about why I wouldn't date a man so that some fucking loser could get on my live and tell me how I'm allowed to speak? Do you see what I'm talking about? Men are such scum. Hello. Oh, hi, Jimbo. Not you. In general, how I feel about men is that you're fine. You're fine. You're okay. You can be fine to talk to, you can be fine to work with. I've got my sons that I love dearly, my brothers that I love dearly, my nephews. I have some people who I work with that are men that are fine and interesting. But what I'm talking about is romantic relationships with a man where you're going to have sex with them, you're going to be emotionally intimate with them, physically intimate with them, you let them into your physical space where you share a bed, a kitchen, a home. No, absolutely not. The majority of men, seriously, fuck you, Jeffrey Hill. I can see, fuck you. I can see it. I'm watching it come right the fuck out of my mouth. Fuck you. Can you see it? Did you watch me say it? Absolutely. Emotional damage. And the thing about dating is that the majority of men are patriarchal misogynists who have this faulty, junky belief system that oh, bye, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. They think that, they think they're the prize. They think that they're somehow something that you would want. You think that, a woman should be thankful to have to clean up after you. They think that, they have something to offer you that would be worth the price of your freedom, of your ability to come and go as you please or to not come. They think that their dick is some kind of special magical wand. They think that they're superior. They think that they're smarter, stronger, better, and they're just simply not. I mean, some men are stronger, sure. Some men might be smart, but ultimately, men suck. You smell. You I'm telling you I hate men. As human beings, yeah, you're fine. You're okay. Like I said, I could work with you. I could, have a conversation with you. I could see you in the store. I could stand next to you in an elevator. We could work together. But as far as me opening my heart, my body, my home, no. Men are scum. You're stupid, you're lazy, you're entitled, you're privileged, you think you're better than women, you think that you deserve unpaid labor, you think that, your time is more precious, you think your hobbies are more important, you think that the money you earn is more valuable. Just, it's just no. It's just a no. And all of these people in the comments saying all this stuff, it's like, why do I fucking care about your stupid opinion? There you go. What do you bring to the table? I am the table, you fucking loser. I am the table. I'm the table, I'm the house, I'm the chairs, I'm the fucking food, I'm the everything. And so who fucking, that's what I'm saying. If the ultimate goal of dating is to have this fucking loser up in your house telling you didn't clean enough, telling you didn't do this enough, trying to fuck you, it's like, ugh, keep your dick, like, just, ew, you smelly, nothing. Like, you literally bring nothing to my life but aggravation, irritation, restrictions, more work. Do you know that the majority of men out here you are literally just a child in a grown man's body walking around expecting somebody to be your mother, your maid, your sex slave, all of this stuff. And there's just no benefit to the majority of women. You see what a loser you are? First of all, why would having cats be an insult? It's like, you see how stupid men are? And you get so angry at the idea that a woman would rather be alone than be with you. And a lot of men out there, they actually think that they're competing with another man, but you're actually competing with the peace and the freedom to like my peace and my freedom. I don't have a lot of peace and freedom because I have two young children that I'm raising and I have a lot of work and clients and stuff. So, um, the little bit of time that I do have to myself, why would I want to have to be doing chores for a grown ass man who thinks that because he gets his little paycheck that that absolves him from having to pick up around the house? Why would I want to live with a man who, first of all, I've been raising my children on my own for 12 years. So, yes, their father is in their life. He sees them regularly, but I'm the one that's doing all the parenting. I'm the one that's giving them everything. He's in their life. He helped to create them. We consciously had coupled all of these years ago. And, it, thanks to my sister, I recognized, she helped me realize like his relationship with the children is his relationship to manage. And whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And that's between him and them. And I facilitate the time um, that they can make, that they can be with him. But I don't make it my concern about what's he teaching them, what role model is he being for them. They're safe when they're with him. They enjoy their time with him, but he's really not teaching them much. And so I'm not looking for some man to step in and father my children. They have a father, so I don't need that. And the thing is that the majority of men out here are um you're just losers. You have this idea that you are somehow special, that you are somehow, like I said, the prize, that a woman should be grateful to have you in her life. And it's like, for what? Like, what are you even, what am I teaching them? Everything. And I'm teaching them that being a man does not entitle you to have somebody be your maid or your slave. It doesn't entitle you to be paid more money. It doesn't entitle you to a woman's body or a man's body. It doesn't entitle you to anything. You're just a fucking person like anybody else. And the majority of men are losers. You are losers. You're mediocre at best. You think that, you know, I don't know, that a woman should be grateful to have you in her life. I'm a single parent. What's my thoughts on that? I don't have thoughts on that. There's lots of single fathers out there. Um, you see, it's like, so the idea that a woman would be empowered to say, I'm single, I don't mingle, I'm not interested in a man, and then it's just like insults. You're insulting my looks. You think that if I had a cat, that's an insult. It's like, this is why so many women, especially more mature women, which I am, they recognize how toxic men are, how unhealthy, how immature, how undeveloped. And, some of it's your fault, and some of it is because that's how you're raised. That's what I'm saying. Men are raised in this patriarchal, misogynistic society where you think that you truly believe that a woman is supposed to be cleaning up the house, taking after the children, cooking and cleaning, being the social manager of the family, doing all of these things that you're not taking part in. When holidays come around, the majority, now does it mean that no man ever goes to buy gifts and no man ever wraps gifts and no man cooks and no man cleans? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the majority, the average guy that you would meet, the person, when you're out there trying to date, Exactly. Thank you, Jimbo. The trolls are in here making my point. Most holidays, the women are out there buying the gifts. They're out there planning the meals. They're planning these elaborate menus. They're buying the food. They're doing the food shopping. They're wrapping the gifts. They're putting the gifts under the tree. They're deciding what each person is going to get. They're doing all of the hard work. They're cooking and cleaning and decorating and doing all this stuff. And then actually, I didn't start hating men until after I dated a bunch. And then I started to realize men are toxic, men are losers. If you think I'm wrong, then fuck you and go out and find someone else. What I'm saying about me, what I've come to the epiphanies of is my journey in my life. If you still want to go fuck, if you still want to go be with a man, if you still want date, then go the fuck and do that. If you're not interested in my opinion, then get the fuck off. Like, most men are terrible. Most, even the good men who actually think that they're good men, most of these men who think that they're decent and they're not misogynistic and they're not, thank you, Jimbo. Most of these men out here who think, oh, I respect women, I love women, I do this, I do that. You just really don't. You're deeply misogynistic and you have these expectations, but you're just not good enough. You're just not worth the time. You're not worth the energy. You're not worth the work that is involved in having a relationship. You think that once you get involved with this person and then you move in together, maybe you get married or you're just living together. And like I said, there's so much unpaid labor. There's so much expectation on a woman. There's the mental load, the physical load, the emotional load. There's so much that goes into managing a home, managing a relationship. And it's this unpaid expectation. And then, I mean, look at all these comments. These men are so enraged that someone would say, you know what, being alone is better than trying to be with you. Spending time with my children, spending time working, spending time healing, then spending time with my family and friends, that is so fulfilling and satisfying. I have absolutely no time, desire, or space or room in my life for a man. And I'm advising anyone who's out there struggling dating, anyone who's unhappy and miserable, anyone who's just like you're not able to find a healthy or happy relationship or partner, I'm suggesting that maybe you don't need to. Maybe what you can do is focus on yourself. Pour all that time and energy and effort into what you're trying to date someone and turn it around and put it on you. You're alone because no one chooses you. See, do you see the comprehension is zero. See, these people on here, they are trying to insult me as if, oh, you didn't, oh, all the men you found were bad men. Oh, you're a bad picker. Oh, you're lonely. Oh, you're bitter. No, I've been out there. I've seen men. I've dated men. I've lived with men. I've experienced it. I've had babies. I've watched the shows. I've listened to them. I've listened to them on podcasts. I hear it. I see it. I live out in the world. And what I'm saying is that a lot of women have come to the same conclusion, realization, and choices that I have, which is that being single is so much happier. Men are a burden in the life of a woman. A man is often a job, an unpaid job, an unpaid expectation that you're going to look a certain way, you're going to dress a certain way, you're going to do your hair and your makeup and your nails and your clothes and your shoes and your bags and all. You know, men have this expectation that you're going to be some kind of beautiful, amazing, sexy goddess for them. But you're also going to be a maid. You're also going to be the caregiver. You're also going to be the cook. You're also going to be their emotional sounding board. You're going to be their social life manager. And it's just, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So are there happy couples out there? Sure. I'm sure that, exactly, men get irritated if they think they have to give up their privileges. Men, then why are you here, you fucking loser? If no one asked me, then why are you here commenting on my video? And it's like, oh, have you ever thought it's just the men you choose? It's the men I choose. It's the men I don't choose. It's the men I'll never meet. It's the men I don't ever want to know. It's the men I don't ever want to see. Is there a unicorn out there? Is there a man who was raised in a patriarchal society who everything from the day that they were born, we are raised in this society where gender is so deeply ingrained in the society, these gender roles, these strict ideas of what a man can do, what a woman can do, what a boy is supposed to be like, what a girl is supposed to be like. I mean, people are out here discovering what genitals their baby has before the baby's even born. Do you know why people are just desperate to figure out what genitals their baby has? Because they think that your genitals decide a lot about you as a person. And because society cares a lot about gender, and people think that your genitals is your gender instead of realizing that gender is a social construct. And so you grow up in this world where you're taught that girls have a place and boys have a place. Men are supposed to do XYZ, women are supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to fucking trillion. And these are the expectations that are put on us as little kids. We're raised in this world where the majority of boys are taught to kind of hate girls. You're taught to hate girls. You're taught to hate things that you think are feminine. You're taught to hate like pink. You're taught to think that, if you want to be a daddy, if you want to play house or, have a baby doll as a boy, you're a sissy. You're gay. You're gay if you want to play with that baby doll, instead of realizing like, well, boys are going to maybe be parents too one day. And you'd think that, having boys who are loving and patient and kind and who can develop that fatherly instinct, that would be a good thing, but not in our society. So do you see how triggered and how fucking evil all of these stupid losers are? I'm out here speaking about, I'm not interested in dating men because men are patriarchal misogynistics and they treat women with disrespect. You think that a woman is there to serve you. You think that a woman is there to do all of this work that you don't want to do. That's how you were raised. And then I'm supposed to go out there and try to date a guy, and I'm not here to be your mother. I don't need to fucking re-raise you. I'm not trying to untrain you from this crap idea that you've been taught your whole life. So by the time I would get involved with a guy in his late 40s or 50s, do you realize how much work it would be to fucking try to date a guy like that? And it's like, you would have to teach him all of these things. And most men in their 40s and 50s, they are not really open to learning. And they're so deeply ingrained in this misogynistic way of thinking that you need to prop up their egos daily. I mean, I haven't seen, except for Jimbo and maybe a couple of other men in here, most of them are screaming at me, "You're the problem." I'm the problem? You're so triggered because I'm over here living my life by myself? I don't want to date you? I'm telling other women. She speaks for 80% of women. Heed her advice and you'd have a great relationship with women. There are women out there who, how could it be difficult to date a woman like me when I'm not dating? You see what a loser you are? You hate yourself and self-project. I'm not triggered in the least. I know many good men, loving, hardworking, so I just wanted to speak. Great, that's great for you. She's the problem 100%. See, just the idea that a woman would be happy being single and look at the hatred. Look at how much hatred and evil comments are coming out because I'm talking some truth. You realize that I'm just one woman. So the chances of me dating any of you are very slim. So I'm rejecting, like, one or two guys, maybe three guys. Yet here you still are continuing. I'm learning that so I used to try to like delete all of these comments, but I just don't give a fuck. I don't care about you. And I heard somebody say, like, even these losers and the trolls, they are helping your engagement. So, but look at how, I hope there's some women in here who can see some of these comments because, oh, I'm a 1 out of 10. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is such a good example of how awful men are. Yeah, there's a few good ones out there. And of course, like I was saying before, um my children are amazing. My brothers are amazing. Some of the men that I work with are amazing. Um Look, women should just do as they're told. You're such a loser. There's so many. The other thing is that men are dangerous. Almost every single woman that have ever met has been sexually assaulted or abused by a man. In fact, I think every single woman that I've ever known has been harmed by a man, sexually assaulted and abused by a man. Many men have also been sexually abused. So we live in a world where these men, you think you're better than women. You think that a woman is there to do unpaid labor for you. You think that you're there to protect a woman, but actually most men harm women. Even these so-called safe, respectful, good men often have these deeply patriarchal beliefs that they just don't even recognize because it's so ubiquitous, it's everywhere, that and they just assume that that's the way it's supposed to be. Yesterday there was some loser who was like, women have privilege. Like, we live in a patriarchal society where women are paid 70 cents to the dollar for a man. Like I've already said, a woman is expected to go to her job and work and pay the bills, and then they come home and they're expected to cook for you, clean up after you, um, take care of the children. Every social event and birthday and holiday, they are expected that they're going to do 95% of the work. And what a man is going, oh, I'll carry some heavy packages in for you. Thanks, buddy. And does this mean every single, you sound like a lazy mother? Why? Because I don't want to be the mother to a grown ass fucking man? You fucking asshole, scumbag, piece of shit. You are exactly a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You are so self-entitled. And that's the thing. Most men are not even mediocre. Most men are less than mediocre. You're not that handsome. You're not that fit. You're really not that sexy. You're not that intelligent. You're not interesting. You don't have emotional intelligence. You're not somebody who I could talk to about my problems. You're not somebody who I want to share my dreams and hopes and desires for the future with. You're not somebody I can build a business with. You're not somebody, I do wish I was a lesbian. I really do. The idea that I'm attracted to men is so disappointing, you know? And I sure wish I was a lesbian. They're overly hairy. That's a good point. They smell. A lot of men don't know how to properly groom themselves. Um, most men are just not that cute. They're not that interesting. They're not, the idea that a woman would be single and happy, and not only so, as I said in the beginning of this stream, I became single. My baby's daddy and I consciously uncoupled, and I began the journey of being single with the intention of raising my little babies, working and earning a living, and then taking time to heal from my own issues and traumas and problems. And like, look at a man putting a number on how they rate me. And is that like, so I'm talking about how men are misogynistic, men are miserable to date, men are not that interesting, men are not, they're not showing up, they're not providing emotional support, or, you're not being a friend. It's just like, what's the point of you? And instead of seeing comments where men are expressing how, you know, they agree it's a misogynistic society. They agree how unfair it is that women get paid way less than them for doing the same job, if not better. Where they agree that, you know what, a lot of women have been sexually harassed at their jobs. You know what? Women get sexually harassed on the bus or just walking down the street. Or you know what? It's actually kind of fucked up to live in a society where you can't walk down the street without having to wonder if somebody's going to try to rape you or kidnap you or kill you or rob you. Did you know that pregnant women are the most susceptible to domestic violence? Did you know that when a woman is in a violent relationship and she's trying to leave, that she's more at risk of being murdered? Do sometimes women kill their husbands? Yes, they do. Like Corey Richins. I just finished watching that trial, and thank God that bitch is going to jail, hopefully for life, because she killed her fucking husband. Like Wendy Adelson, who I'm still waiting to have this bitch get arrested. And why do you care? If you're not the fucking loser man that I'm talking about, then why do you care? Why are you like, oh my God, why would you say that? Why would I say these things? Because almost every woman that I've known has been sexually assaulted by someone. Again, most of these women who've been assaulted by a man, it's not a stranger who's randomly grabbing them off the street. It's their own boyfriend, their own partner, someone they were on a date with, someone that they liked, someone that they trusted. Maybe it was a coworker or a friend. Women are out here getting raped by their own boyfriends. She's a professional victim, professional Karen. Oh, yeah, you're really proving my point. You're really showing any woman who wants to jump on this live, or any man who watches this video, you guys are proving my point. You're hateful. You're evil. You're losers. You are playing the victim. Women out here are getting raped. Women out here are getting they're working so hard, but they're not getting paid. They're going home after going to a job where they're working side by side with a man, but getting paid less than he is for doing the same work, if not more. Then they go home, and then they're expected to fucking do free labor there. All you guys are doing in the comments is proving to me, and whoever else is watching, that men are losers. Are there the exceptions? Of course there are. But you see, do you see the mentality? And what you are showing is that being single is a better option. And so I am being a voice to anyone out there who's you're sad, you feel lonely, you're trying to get a boyfriend, you want this guy to marry you, you're hoping to get the date, you're wishing he would call you, you wish he would commit to you, you wish that he would move in. Think about it. Think about what you're really asking. So when a woman when a woman doesn't want to have to work for a man, when a woman doesn't want to have to do the dishes for this guy, I don't want to have to come home and have to cook for you. I don't want to have to pick your clothes up off the floor. I don't want to have to do your laundry. I don't have to go to the grocery store and shop for you. I don't want to have to pick out a birthday gift for your sister and wrap it and write the card. I don't want to have to invite your family over and cook for them and clean up for them while you sit and watch sports. I don't want to have to do. I am single as fuck and I am advertising it and I am telling other women, if you're in an unhappy relationship or if you're in an unhappy dating situation, think about the other option, the alternative, which is just don't date. I have to pick up clothes off the floor and cook and clean, but these are for my children. They're children. And I am raising my children to understand that it is not a woman's job to do all of this stuff for a man. And all of these comments, except for a handful, all you're doing is proving. You're proving my point. No man wants you. You're single as fuck. A woman is supposed to be doing the work. You're a loser. Instead, I haven't seen more than just Jimbo and a couple of other guys saying, you know what? It is a misogynistic culture. I've seen women working really hard at work and they're not getting paid as much, and that's not right. I've seen women get passed over for promotions, not because she's not good enough, but because it's a misogynistic world. I've seen a presidential campaign where a completely unqualified fucking felon, a rapist, a fucking loser, a racist, a scumbag, a piece of shit, garbage, asshole, so-called won over one of the most qualified women in the fucking world. Qualified, hardworking, she's earned it, she's intelligent, Kamala Harris. But because she's a woman, people wouldn't vote for her. Because she's a black woman, people wouldn't vote for her. And a white, unqualified, felonist rapist was able to get the presidency. I think he stole it. I absolutely think he stole it. And if any of you are Trump supporters, fuck you, drop dead, go to hell, burn in hell, and you need to be scraped off the earth. I fucking love gay people. I love lesbians and I love gay men. If I was gay, I would fucking shout it from the rooftops. So I got to get to work. I got some videos to edit. You're scumbags. E. Jean Carroll proved her case in 2 separate court cases. Trump owes her like $100 million. Why are you even here? You see how stupid and what losers men are? You think calling somebody a cat lady is an insult? You know how many women would pick a cat over a man and every day of the week? Lots of them. They talk about Did you see what I'm talking about? Look at these comments. These people, you are only proving my point. And for all of you women, any women who end up watching this video later on the replay, you know what? I didn't bother deleting these comments so you can see them. Look at how insulting men are. I'm over here happy in being single and loving the fact that I don't have a fucking man to deal with. I don't have to deal with your bullshit. I don't have to deal with your misogyny. I don't have to deal with your fucking ridiculous, skewed expectations of what a woman is supposed to do for you. I don't have to deal with your fucking emotional unavailability. I don't have to deal with your lack of emotional intelligence. Most men are not mature. Most men don't know how to be there for someone. Most men are selfish and self-centered and just simply just not that interesting. You think that the little bit of knowledge you have about whatever makes you somehow better. Most men think that they deserve more for less. And you know what? I'm not even going to bother to delete these comments because you are literally proof. This is proof that the majority of men, you're insulting my looks. You're saying I'm not interesting. Oh, when did you transition? I mean, you're just proving to other women who haven't already figured it out that men are not worth your time. They're just not worth your time, ladies. It's not worth it. You're out here trying so hard to look a certain way to please a man. Why? So that when you can eventually get married, that you can just have a fucking giant baby to take care of? Don't do it, girls. Don't don't put your life in the hands of a man. Don't allow a man to make you believe that your job is to wait on him hand and foot, to cook for him, to clean for him. Most men out here, you don't even know how to fucking properly wipe your ass. You don't even know how to wipe the shit off of your ass. This is the caliber of men out here. You're stupid, you're ignorant, you're misogynistic, you're not helpful. You're dirty, stinking, fucking walking ball of somebody got to take care of that shit and it ain't going to be me. Thank you. They are so many pieces of shit out there who think that just because they have a fucking dick and balls that somehow it makes them some kind of special treat. And all of your comments out here, you're just empowering me to know that what I'm saying is so true. All right, let's get rid of this fucking religious zealot. What a creep. Ugh, what a creep. Men are creepy. Men are dangerous. Men are ignorant. Is there a unicorn man out there who's actually worth a woman's time? There probably are a few. And if you're a woman and you are desperate enough for a man in your life to weed through the sea, you know, they're like, there's more fish in the sea. Yeah. And ugh, just disgusting. If your time and energy is not so precious to you like mine is to me, and you actually want to put yourself out there and try to weed through the fucking sea of God forsaken pieces of shit to try to find that one special unicorn, then, you know, good for you. Don't worry about me. I won't be out there trying to take none of them from you. But my God, first of all, half of these fucking men out here are MAGA. So just throw them in the trash because, I mean, they're just blatantly talking about how they think that you don't have a right to decide what you should do with your own body. They don't think that you have a right to get paid what they get paid. You don't have a right to be in certain positions of power. They don't think that you should have access to certain things in life. And it's just like, it's so pathetic. It's just so creepy and dangerous. Like I said, when a woman is in an unhealthy relationship with a man and she's trying to leave, that's one of the most dangerous times for her. Another most dangerous time for a woman is when she's pregnant. The the idea that when you get married, you change your name is another incredibly misogynistic and fucking disgusting practice. And now these MAGA men out here are trying to make it so that you can't vote. There are actually men out there who think that a woman should not be allowed to vote. There are men out there who believe that a woman should not have the right to have an opinion. And these are the men that you're trying to date. So I got on this live because I wanted to make a shorter version of the video that I did yesterday, which ended up being an hour long. But look at these comments. All you're doing is proving my point. Men suck. Men are dangerous. Men are mediocre pieces of garbage. Don't do it, girls. Don't date these pieces of crap. Don't give your life over to them. Don't be somebody's fucking maid and slave. Don't do it. Save yourself. The amount of time that you will have to do your hobbies, to do your chores, to go work out, to spend time with your mother and your sister and maybe your brother, maybe your children, maybe your friends, maybe go for a walk by yourself. There's so much stuff in life that you can do. Start a business, start a second business, keep working, keep learning. Don't waste your time on a man. Don't give yourself over to these fucking losers. Because a lot of these men will act like they're sweet and kind and that they're that they care about you, and then once they get you into a relationship, boom, you're locked in. Now they think you're their slave. Now they're going to try to destroy your self-esteem if you had any to begin with. Now they're going to start breaking you down. Now they're going to start taking every minute of your free time and redirecting it toward how you can serve them with unpaid labor. And they're not going to care about you. They don't care about your development. They don't care about, you know how many men out there are, I saw I was watching something the other day, and it was like some clip of some kind of like couples therapy show. And the man said, my wife makes twice as much money as me, and that makes me feel so emasculated, and I just can't, it's so hard for me. And I'm looking at this beautiful, accomplished, intelligent woman. She's sitting there next to him, and this fucking scumbag of a dick, his whole issue is that he can't handle that she earns more money than him. This is the kind of shit that women have to deal with. You go out there, you earn your education, you get your job, you get those skills, you get your experience, you're earning your money, you are fucking doing so well in life, and then you end up with a man, and the fact that you're successful makes him feel bad about himself. And now that's what the whole relationship is about. Now all your whole dynamic is about, because he can't fucking handle the fact that you're earning more than him. The fuck? This woman is so accomplished, but yet she has to sit around trying to fucking stroke the ego of this mediocre, if that, fucking loser. This is the shit that women have to deal with. No matter how successful you get in life, you can end up with a fucking loser who he can't handle the fact that you earn more than him. And so everything is going to be about that now. No, thank you, motherfucker. No, thank you. Or you could be somebody who's earning a decent living, but you're not that wealthy. And then you end up with a guy who earns more than you. And now he thinks that that means somehow that he's better than you, that you're supposed to be his maid, or because you earn X and he earns XXX, that means that now, oh, well, I earn this amount of money. So now you got to do the cooking and the cleaning. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Women, stop fucking with these men. Get empowered. How are we going to overcome a patriarchal, misogynistic society? Just stop giving your pussy to men. Stop giving your time and your energy and your free labor. Just stop. Just focus on your own well-being. Take those classes, whether it's gym classes or something you wanted to learn. Empower yourself. Make another friend. Spend more time on yourself. Become a self-reflective, introspective, meditating person who's out here to do good in the world. And stop giving your time and energy to these men. Stop doing all the work for them. Stop cooking and cleaning and slaving away. Do you know how many successful men are only successful because there's a woman at home who's watching the children, who's cooking, who's cleaning, who's slaving away, who's doing all of this stuff that he doesn't have to? You know, when a man and a woman get married and then they have a child, and then let's say she stays home for a few years to take care of the children, which is grueling, incredibly difficult work. How do I know? Because I fucking did it. And he's out there at his job, his little job, click, 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 click. And then he comes home. He's like, oh, I'm so exhausted from all the hard work. And you've just been staying at home. So therefore, obviously, you know, you didn't do anything. And then he thinks he's entitled, that he doesn't have to do anything. And she's still cooking and still cleaning and still taking care of the kids and waking up in the middle of the night. And he's like, oh, but I have to go to work in the morning. Don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Do not. You would never have the option to marry me because fuck you, I would not. I will never, ever marry a man. I would never give a man, again, all of my fucking unpaid labor. All of my, you end up being their therapist, you're their mother, you're their maid, you're their chef, you're their cook, you're, like I said, your social manager, everything. It is cool to be alone. It is so amazing. First of all, I'm introverted, so I love my alone time. I cherish it. So they're not Christmas lights, you fucker. They're festive lights because I love them. Why did I have two hoodies on? Because it's cold, you stupid bitch. See, that's what I'm talking about. A man thinks that he can tell you what you can wear. A man thinks he's entitled to tell you how you can have your hair, what color your hair can be, what style it can be, what length it can be, whether you can wear a dress or pants or high heels or not, if you have to wear makeup or shave your armpits or shave your legs or do this or that. All of these things to make a fucking man happy? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Abso-fucking-lutely not. This woman is dumb as fuck. She doesn't want to do unpaid labor for a man. She's so dumb. This woman is empowered to live her life for herself. Oh, what a stupid. All you guys are doing is proving my point. I don't even know. It's a sheet. It's a sheet. Should your husband pay you? How about do the work, you fucking loser? Men are losers. Men suck. Men are ass. Men are the worst. Hey, girl. You see? They insult your looks. They insult your body. They insult your intelligence. All because I have the audacity to say I don't need a man. I don't need a man to make me happy. I don't need a dick. I don't need a piece of shit up in my house. Every single human being that's on this earth was born from a woman. Did a man have to fuck her or donate some sperm? Yes. The 5 seconds of effort that you did to make a human being compared to everything else. Like, do you see? That is exactly a perfect fucking example. A man ejaculates into a woman after 1 minute. Your 1 minute contribution that created that human being compared to the 10 months of growing a baby, the labor, the nursing them, the raising, everything again. And this is the society that we live in, that a man can fucking ejaculate, and in his mind, ejaculating, which is pleasurable for him, by the way, him ejaculating and enjoying that moment, in his mind, that's the equivalent of carrying a baby for 9, 10 months, giving labor, nursing the baby, carrying that baby, doing all of these things for the baby. And he thinks that because he had an ejaculation, that that's the same. It's yucky. And there you go. That's a perfect example that a man actually believes that because he had a little bit of semen go boop out of his little fucking hole, that that is the same equivalent of all of the stuff that a woman has to do and goes through. And that is why, ladies, I am suggesting to you, fuck a man, as in don't fuck a man. Just leave them alone. They are not going to learn. You're not going to love them enough to make them smart. You're not going to love them enough to heal them. You're not going to get to re-raise them. So if you're desperately trying to find a boyfriend or you want some guy to marry you, really think about what it means. Write down a pros and cons list. You know, maybe you found that special guy who truly understands that housework is just human work, and that cooking and cleaning and doing all the things and the childcare and all this stuff, that's just as much his job as it is yours. And if you found that, girl, good for you. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy that you were able to find one of these rare men out here. But most of them, they're just not it. They're just not it. It's just, and it's really hard because, you know, like I'm a grown woman, so the men that I would be dating if I were to date, they're also grown. So they've already been raised. They've already been groomed into this patriarchal, misogynistic way of being. And so it's impossible to, rewire their brain. There probably are a handful of men out there that are really amazing partners and make their woman's life better. And, kudos to you. The few of you guys out here, you are amazing. But it's like the majority of men are, the mentality is like, oh, what was she wearing? She was asking for it, That's the kind of mentality of a guy. It's like most men know that almost every woman in their lives has been sexually assaulted or abused or raped by a man. They know that. They might know that. But it's always like, what did she do? She was asking for it. What was she wearing? What position did she put herself? Instead of realizing that we are raised in a society where there's like an expectation that a man would rape you, and that it's your job to dress a certain way, to be modest, to speak a certain way, to act a certain way. It's all on the woman to make sure that a man wouldn't rape her. When actually nuns have been raped, old women get raped. Little girls get raped. Women wearing hijabs get raped. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter. Even if a woman was walking down the street naked, that's not an invitation for you to touch her or to rape her. But a lot of people just don't realize that. They don't recognize that. They don't understand that. So the solution for my life is live my life to the fullest, do the things that I enjoy, earn a living, be with my children, be with my family and friends, take classes, do all the stuff that I want to do, happy, and not feeling like I need a human being that has a dick to somehow fulfill me. And men are so mad that you would rather be alone than be with them. Men are just you know, really pathetic. And it's really sad. And all of the comments in here, you've just really proven my point. And it's just so sad to me that women are out here walking around with so many dangerous people. And you know, if men were actually good and decent people, then you would hear them rising up to fight against the kind of men that are not. But they just don't. They just truly prefer to keep perpetuating the belief that they're stronger, smarter, better, that, you know, women, we need you. And they just get so enraged when you suggest that you could be happy and fulfilled without them. And all of these comments that have been flying by, you're just proving to me, as well as any woman who might be watching this, that everything I'm saying is true. The mentality that these misogynistic men have is that you are there to serve them. And that if you have the audacity to believe that you could be happy without them, then you must be a loser. You're a cat lady. You're ugly. You're fat. You're old. You're a grandma. You know, all of the things. You're a loser. Nobody wants you. You're a lesbian. It's like all of the things that, how about, no, actually, I'm a very highly intelligent and emotionally intelligent woman who's recognized that the vast majority of men out there in the dating pool, and a lot of you guys are actually married, you know, a lot of these men in this so-called dating pool are actually married as well, that the slim pickings is so slim, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to try to get in that ocean with those sharks and those monsters and those piranha and all of the fucking scum out there to try to find that one special nice guy. No, it's just not worth it. Now, some people are a lot hornier than I am. I actually don't need sex, and I'm very happy not having sex, and I don't long for it. I don't wish for it. I'm not like, oh God, I just wish I had a dick. Like, I just don't need that. So, you know, I mean, hey, there's lots of women out there who would like some sexual pleasure, but they've also figured out there's lots of ways that you can enjoy that without actually having a man in your life. And I haven't gone through menopause yet. It's just that the price that you pay for you know, in order to get the dick, you've got to, there's so much garbage that comes with it. And it's just, you know, the majority of people out there are going to want a romantic partner. The majority of people are going to want to couple up. So the things that I'm saying, it's going to just be for like a small group of women, because no matter how true everything I'm saying is, the majority of women out there, just, you know, if you're not a lesbian, you are going to probably want to find a man. So, this isn't going to be helpful advice for you because you're going to be like, no, I know that there's a good man out there. I'm sure I'll find him. And you go on and do that, you know, and that's great for you. And if one day I happen to meet some guy and he seems like he's worth getting to know and it makes sense, um, in my life at the time, yeah, why not? Why not get to know somebody? But, um, like, look at that comment. This is a very long stretched way to tell people you get no play. Right, because you can't fathom the idea that it would be a choice. In your pea brain, oh, she must be saying she doesn't want a man because she can't get one. Do you know how easy it is to get fucked if you're a woman? If I wanted a boyfriend, I could go find one. Like, boyfriends are not hard to find. Men are easy. If I was interested in dating, I could have a list, more men than I could ever have time for, because men are not discerning. Does it mean I could get any man I wanted? No, I couldn't. But I could find a plethora of them. So that's what's so it's like the idea that a woman would be empowered to say, you know what? Men out there are just not worth it. And I've chosen to be single. And I'm sharing it online for anyone out there who might be struggling in the dating world, and maybe you just needed a little bit of encouragement to realize that, ultimately the ultimate prize of dating is to end up with a man in your house that you have to fucking slave away for. No, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you, sir. But in your fucking little scumbag pea brain mind, it must be, oh, I can't get a man, and so no, because you can't fathom that a woman would choose solitude over you. And that is exactly why so many men, they say there's a male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, because you suck. I do have to go to work. Thank you for reminding me. All right. Fuck a man. Don't fuck a man. See you. Bye.